everyone, and welcome to Chris's Chaos. I am your host, Chris Cortez, and this morning, it is now 10:32 on Saturday, August 26th, 2023. We are going to finally do the review of the All-Star Junior Festival USA 23, as well as the Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls. This is actually a second take. Last night, I tried to record at about just under 8 minutes. My power cut off, the whole house and the whole area cut off. The power could not get back on until sometime like 1:32 in the morning. So by then I was like, all right, got to go ahead and record in the morning. So yeah, night before that, I had heard the news of Bray Wyatt passing and was pretty bummed out about it. So I did a recording on that. You can see that I live streamed. You can always catch that if you want to check out my other videos. That video is up. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Most of all, their friends, his friends. I know SmackDown's doing a tribute show for him and Terry Funk as well. And that one, you know, when I found out that Terry Funk had passed away, I was like, wow, that was really ironic. Both these deaths just kind of creepy to us. Specifically, obviously, I mean, Bray Wyatt at the age of 36, but Terry Funk. I was there for the All-Star Junior USA Tournament in Viking Hall Arena, 2300 Arena, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is the ECW arena. When you walk into the venue, to the right, you have the bar, and up top you have a bunch of posters that showcase some of their big events. They have some boxing events. They also have the ECW Barely Legal promo poster. And the first thing that came to mind when I see that poster, and the first thing that I think of when I hear that Terry Funk passed away, was that main event. Okay, that was the first time I was really exposed to Terry Funk, because I was not old enough to watch him in the indies during NWA days. All those, when he was younger, he was a legend. Okay, by the time he had reached Barely Legal, by the time I was about 15 years old watching the Barely Legal recording, when it was the main event. It was him, Steve Richards versus the Sandman. Okay, winner takes on Raven for the ECW title. Raven, by the time I'd watched this video, this recording I watched on a old VHS tape. By the time I'd watched it, Raven was already starting to make little promos in the audience at WCW. So, you know, he was already out. What he had to do, he had to go ahead and drop the title. He dropped the title to Terry Funk that night after a brutal three-way match. Okay, so hard to, if you watched it live, you must be like, there's no way in hell that Terry Funk's going to come through with this. But he did. It was a miraculous victory for Terry Funk to walk away with a roll-up to beat Raven. And then, of course, Raven would have to lose to Tommy Dreamer, leaves ECW. It's another like legendary match. So that's what I think of when I think of Terry Funk. Immediately comes to mind is that Barely Legal show. That's the first time I watched him. Then, of course, he would go on to, he would make his way back. He'd make his way into WWE as Chainsaw Charlie. That gimmick lasts not very brief, but he would team up with Mick Foley, and they'd have great tag team matches leading up all the way through the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. I mean, he definitely made his mark as a legend. He let us know. If we didn't know already, we figured it out very quickly how much of a legend this guy was, a hardcore legend. And he has his place in the Attitude Era. He has just his place in all of pro wrestling history. So he was amazing. Now, my thoughts on Bray Wyatt, again, go back to the video that I posted 2 nights ago. You know, as soon as I found out about it, I just immediately started recording to get it off my chest. I was like, there's no way I'm going to record now. Because I was just about to record on the 2 shows from last weekend. It's my first week of school with the kids, and it's been great. It's smooth. Everything's cool, but they are a big ball of energy. They take away your energy. So after school, I go maybe get a workout in, and we are exhausted. I go to bed at like maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock latest. So I'm going to try to reserve my recordings to the weekends. You know, if I can get one in on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, something like that, maybe a Sunday. Those are the days that I will try to get recordings in. But I'm shooting for 2, one at least Okay. And yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about All-Star Junior Festival. This was the first night. This was Saturday. And I was there. Great seats, third row, next to the entrance ramp. Okay. I'll probably hopefully have posted a picture of me and Speedball Mike Bailey. It's so great. My buddy Jonathon from Bad Guy Wrestling, he was able to get some great videos. New Japan even reposted one of his videos. So I believe it was the Philly cheesesteak match, ladder match. Again, another fun match. This card definitely did not disappoint. It delivered. So just starting off the bat, the kickoff match was Goldie versus Vinny Pacifico, and cool little match. Did not know these guys, but Vinny Pacifico, he's kind of ripped. Goldie, a little more bulkier. He comes out with his power punch cans. Funny gimmick. He doesn't. Pacifico does end up drinking one of his power punch cans and was not able to capitalize, though. Was not able to follow through. So Goldie gets the win. Then you got the second match. Matt Sydal defeats Bushi and Shun Skywalker. Now, I was going for Bushi and Shun, but at one point, there's shade between Bushi and Shun. They're just talking trash to each other. I was like, oh, no, they're not going to win this. Okay, and sure enough, and Matt Sydal win. At one point, Shun sprays the mist into Bushi's face. I was like, oh, they're out of this. And after the match, Bushi gave him a receipt. Went ahead and sprayed Shun in the face. So two great workers. Sydal worked really well as Yo. Yeah, it was very good. Fun little match for the second match. Then you got the All-Star Junior USA Tournament semifinals. You got this tournament going, okay? All matches in this little tournament were excellent, okay? You got Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, okay? And I'm looking at my notes because I was writing little notes on my phone, on my notes, whatever I could get. And, just both competitors, when you talk about Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, Connors got that. He's just got the brute strength. He hits a nice shoulder tackle. Connors takes Knight to the outside, does a lot of the work. A big suplex, crucifix pin, though, by Kevin Knight for the win. Obviously, I can't write all my notes here, but it was the big story here is that Clark Connors attacks Kevin Knight after the victory. Okay, after Kevin Knight wins. So his midsection is all beat up. Now, I took some pretty copious notes of the main event between Kevin Knight and the winner of the semifinal, which we get into Mike Bailey versus Francesco Akira. And, Mike Bailey wins this one. Okay. Nice double stomp by Akira. I saw that. It's one move that really impressed me. And Akira, he's an incredible worker. He's not that big. I mean, really, he's standing right next to him. He's maybe a little bit shorter than me in his boots. Small dude, but works just like a middle-sized kind of guy. I mean, I never noticed how small he is. Of course, everybody in the ring looks bigger. Okay. They look bigger in the ring. But Akira, yeah, great job. Great match between Bailey and Akira. I called Bailey was going to win this whole tournament, so I had no doubt that he was going to win this. Kevin Knight, Connors, good match. Now, so it's Kevin Knight versus Mike Bailey for the main event. They will wrestle at the end of the card. Then you got Rich Swann, Ryusuke Taguchi, okay? Tag teaming, one from Impact, one from New Japan, and then you got DKC as well, taking on Real One, Jack Cartwheel, Starboy Charlie, okay? Now, I was like, I don't really know too much about Real One, Cartwheel, and Starboy Charlie. The latter two, I did not. But Real One, Enzo Amore, I forgot. I think I remember overhearing that, yes, Enzo Amore is now going under the moniker of Real One. So when he came out, I was like, holy crap, that's Enzo. And, my buddy Jonathan, he's like, oh, that is Enzo. And we're loving it. I mean, the fans are talking so much trash. They hate this guy. Really, I don't see, I mean, he's a heel. He's supposed to be obnoxious. But then when you go back to, and then they talk about how he can't wrestle. No, I mean, he works okay. He does what he needs to do. And he made a botch trying to do a backstabber. And you could tell that he was like, damn, let me fix that. He felt bad about it. He works hard. and he stays in character the whole time. So he's a good attraction. Rich Swann, Taguchi, and DKC. By the way, Taguchi was loved by the crowd. Okay, DKC was really cool. I saw him work in the ring before. And Rich Swann, obviously, they won the match. I thought Jack Cartwheel was really good in the ring. I'd like to see more of Jack Cartwheel. He knew how to do some really cool moves, and he's got the crowd in his hands. Starboy, also kind of young. Seemed like he's kind of still working his getting his footing, but he's a good worker. I mean, he's definitely athletic. He knows he's doing great for his experience. Then, in Real One, I mean, man, all I could say about him is get him back with Big Cass, with Big Bill. Man, he came out. It started this match. He did a little promo, talking about himself, basically saying, still the realest guy in the room. And you know what? Maybe he is, because everybody's still talking. I mean, they still love to talk. This guy gets so much heat, and people say it's go away heat. I say it's real heat. It's just good heat. He could work so well with Big Cass, with Big Bill. I don't see why. He's in good shape. He's gotten a little bigger. I don't see why AEW doesn't pick up this guy. Okay, he had some backstory. He had some issues going on in his personal life, and as far as we know, they're pretty much cleared. The guy could, excuse me, the guy could go ahead and work, get signed for AEW as far as I'm concerned. But I guess there's just maybe so much heat on him at this point. It sucks, but yeah, very entertaining till the end, by the way, because he'll come back out. But we go to the Lucky Dip tag match. I didn't even know what this, excuse me, I didn't even know what this match was. Like, essentially, you got 8 guys come into the ring, 2 of which are Bullet Club. Okay, you got Chris Bay, you got Ace Austin, you got 2 guys from the Mighty Don't Kneel, TMDK. You got Robbie Eagles, okay, as well as Fujita, and you got Cheeseburger, Alex Shelley, Kanemaru. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody else, but point is they all come in the ring and then they have to draw sticks. Red stick, stick taped with red tape, stick taped with blue tape. And it's a random, division of the guys, just a random kind of drawing as to who's going to be on which team. You got red team and blue team. Simple enough. Okay, so we watched that. And TMDK, they stay together. Okay, so that gives them an advantage. They also have Alex Shelley and the Impact champion. And then they also have Chris Bay. So Kanemaru, Cheeseburger, and Bullet Club member Ace Austin, as well as TJP. They stay on the other side. Now, the team that wins is the team with TMDK, Alex Shelley, and Chris Bay. But it was a very interesting match. Is that Chris Bay and Ace Austin, even though they're on opposing sides at this point, they never touch each other, and they had opportunities to, and it looked like they're about to strike. They give the little Wolfpack kiss. So yeah, Cheeseburger was loved by the crowd. They eat him up. Okay, always have. It's such a interesting, such a good little face gimmick. Such a nice gimmick that he's developed for himself that he can go anywhere. Okay, it doesn't matter where he goes. He's going to be loved. Okay, like he could go to the mountains of Montana to a bingo hall indie show, and the kids are going to eat him up and go cheeseburger. They're going to love him because it's so understandable. Okay, he kind of has a little like cheeseburger kind of like hairdo. He's got the cheeseburger pants. He's great in the ring. I mean, he can go. He's keeping up with Chris Bay. He's keeping up with Alex Shelley. I mean, he's just really good in the ring. So good on him. Still going strong. He's been around for quite some time now. And Ring of Honor. Since the days when I know when I was watching Ring of Honor back in like 2016, 2015, he was there. So good on him. But yeah, TMDK, Alex Shelley, and Chris Bay win the match. And Chris Bay and Ace Austin were cool afterwards. I mean, they would go on to face the World in Impact and New Japan with the rest of the Bullet Club members the next night. So then you got the 5-way match. Okay. Great match. I thought it was going to be, I wasn't sure exactly, what exactly, how this match was going to go, but I believe, I thought that it was going to be, I think I thought it was going to be like some sort of a tag match. I don't know why, but you got Soberano winning, okay, defeating Leo Rush, Fugaz, Dragon Kid, KC Navarro. Man, Soberano did really well. Leo's amazing in the ring. The way he moves, it just never ceases to amaze me. He is so fast. Everybody knows how great he is, and everybody in the crowd knew how great he was. Fugaz, excellent. Sobrano, just excellent. All these guys really worked a great match. Casey Navarro. So I was very impressed. Then you got Japan versus America. El Desperado, okay, from New Japan. You got Mao, okay, versus East West Express, Nick Wayne, and Jordan Oliver. Again, Nick Wayne, I've seen him in AEW. You know, he's being built up as this guy who's going to be up and coming. And yes, he's definitely so young. He's like 19 years old. He hasn't even filled out yet in his body. So he's going to get bigger. He's got the height and he's got the ability. So you got Jordan Oliver from GCW. He's a former, I looked up, did a little back research on him, former GCW champion. Looks good. They work really well together. They got a nice look together as a tag team. But you got El Desperado, who's just a seasoned veteran, and Mao, excellent performer. They took out East West Express. But the crowd was eating up Nick Wayne. They love Nick Wayne. All right. Everybody loves Nick Wayne. I think he works really great. He's got some time. You know, he's a star in the making. So good on him. Then you got this might have been the match of the night. Okay. Pat's King of Steaks, Philly Cheesesteak Cup 3-way ladder match, tag team ladder match. Man, I'll put it this way. This is how you promote something, okay? Because you're in Philly, you're going to promote some Pat's or Geno's. After the show, me and Jonathan, we went to Pat's and Geno's. I usually go for Pat's steaks. Jonathan went to Pat's. I was like, I'll just go to Geno's. I don't normally go to Geno's when I'm in Philly. So tonight I'll go to Geno's. I'll give them some love. But that's how well this match promoted. The whole night they had this bag of Pat's King of Steaks hanging on the roof above the ring. And before the match starts, it goes black and goes dark so that we could see Kevin Knight in the backstage talk about Clark Connors, you're not going to take me out of the main event. I'm still ready to go. Just a little promo before the final match. But if you weren't paying attention, you look over and I see that they are filling up the bag with 10 Philly cheesesteaks. I see a tray come out, okay, in the dark of 10 Philly cheesesteaks, brand new, fresh from Pat's. Okay, I'm like, all right, they're setting up, they're preparing for this ladder match. And, it was a fun, very fun match. I really enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. The moves that you see, you should go back and watch some of the craziness that goes on. We recorded some pictures. We took some pictures. At one point, they set up 2 ladders, 1 ladder in the center, 1 ladder between the post and the middle ladder, setting up some kind of a bridge. Just craziness. You got Doki, Lowrider, Hiromu Takahashi, Rocky Romero, who I thought was going to win, Takahashi and Romero, and Watto and Blake Christian. Great match. Takahashi took some serious bumps. But who ended up grabbing the bag? It was Doki. Grabs bag, pulls out the Philly cheesesteaks. Jonathan, he was like, oh man, they've had Philly cheesesteaks the whole time up there. Nope. They traded it. They had a little moment when they snuck those Philly cheesesteaks in. So they were fresh and everybody starts eating them. Everybody. Takahashi was laid out on the ladder that was created into a bridge, and I believe it was either Lowrider or Rocky Romero who fed the cheesesteak to Takahashi to re-energize him, and sure enough, it did. Everybody was cool at the end of the match. It was a very fun match. Nothing at stake, just for where they were, and it worked. It was entertaining, and it got us wanting to get Philly cheesesteak. So good on them. And then you got that final match: Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight. Okay. They walk into the ring and the crowd is going nuts for both sides. Kevin Knight, chance of Kevin Knight, chance of Mike Bailey. They lock up, okay? Clean breaks, soon after, Knight outside clutching his midsection. At one point, Bailey is like, look, if you want to do this match, we'll do it, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. So if you're sure you're good on this, Bailey being a total babyface. But as soon as Knight says, yeah, I'm ready to do this, Bailey goes whole hog. He's not going to, let up. Okay, this is a match to, showcase who is the All-Star Junior tournament. This is going to, Bailey is no joke. He's all business. So once he gets the go-ahead, he's going all out. They attack. Bailey attacks Knight, gets the arm drag, splash off the apron. Still clutching the midsection is Kevin Knight. He does stomp Bailey and then gets a body slam. But then the knees by Bailey right back to the midsection. Gets that bicycle Liu Kang style kick, those high knee kicks. Outside to the corner, Bailey sends Knight. Flapjack to the apron. Ref at 15 before Bailey back in the ring. So Knight hits that flapjack to Bailey. Okay. More attacks to the back. Then the leap off the middle rope to the knees. Kick to the gut. Then Bailey applies that leg lock, arm breaker. More knees to the arm of Knight. Who then shows signs of life until Bailey back to the arm. Knight with the momentum gets the crossbody off the middle rope. Leaping clothesline off the top from Knight. Thrust kick from Bailey. Running shooting star. Pin attempt. Kick gets caught by Knight, but not the next few, and then hung out to dry by Bailey. Beautiful drop kick by Knight. After a few more exchanges, then to the back breaker, the plancha. Later, Bailey gets that arm Fujiwara arm bar. At that point, it just gets, we're so invested I can't even take notes because we're watching this. But I do believe Bailey does get that torpedo kick, and he hits his finisher. Once he hits his finisher, it's over. Okay, it's almost like set up like a muscle buster, but then slams him down. It's beautiful. Check out the Mike Bailey's finisher. So then everybody at the end of the match, Mike Bailey wins, as I kind of called it. But this was a very close match. Almost thought because they were building up Kevin Knight to be kind of like the underdog and bounce back with a victory. But no, Bailey wins. And he gets this little plushie doll as a trophy. It looked like a little plushie doll of a Pat's King of Steaks plushie doll. This is what it looked like. And then everyone comes into the ring that was performing tonight, including Real One. They're all in the ring, pose. They do take a couple pictures together. It was a really cool moment. They signed the ring. They're signing the ring apron, the mat cover. And everybody's cool. On their way out, they're bumping fists. They're taking pictures with everybody. Everybody was so cool to us. Just we were applauding and giving them thanks. It was a fun night. And then we move on. We of course had our way to the Philly cheesesteaks. The only ones that are open 24 hours, so we had to go. As soon as we got back to the hotel, we passed out. So that was our night. We woke up, got some brunch at Green Eggs. Oh no, that was it Green Eggs? Yeah. We went to Green Eggs and then got home back to DC. So great night. And I was like, okay, I got to watch Multiverse. So it took me a while to watch. The next day is going to be my first day of school. So I was watching it in pieces and watched most of it the first couple days, then finally watched the main event between Alex Shelley and Hiromu Takahashi. So we're going to, hopefully tonight, because Jonathan from Bad Guy Wrestling and I wanted to do a predictions of All In together and collaborate. We wanted to collaborate on this show, but we were unable to kind of set up our computers at the hotel. We were staying at the Logan, figured it's a nice hotel. So we're going to have the amenities needed to record. There were 7 weddings taking place. Okay. Some of which were actually the ceremonies were taking place at the hotel. 7 different parties. Man, talk about being wedding season. So they just weren't that accommodating for that night, understandably. But live and learn. But we're gonna hopefully maybe chat a little bit more about this show, about this All-Star show, as we were both there, and we'll talk about predictions, and might even obviously talk a little bit about Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk, and get right into the All In predictions because I know tomorrow night is all in. So, yeah. But now let's talk about Multiverse United 2. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. Okay, had to do it. I had to get it out of my chest. I did it last night. Maybe that's why the power went off, because I had to do my Hetfield impersonation. So this was a good show. Okay, not a bad card at all. Fun matches. I really enjoyed watching Doki versus Sami Callihan. I don't get that much opportunities to watch Callahan, and the guy is a real attraction for Impact. Okay, so we'll get into that and talk about his match. And $24.95 for the card for the show, not bad. I was hoping it wouldn't get to that 30-40 card. I would have been like, oh man. I was hoping to be like maybe like $20. That would be like the perfect number for this type of card. But 25, not bad. So there were. We're gonna get into the matches here. Let me count how many matches there were. We got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. So solid card. Yeah. Let's get into this. Chris Sabin versus, this is the scramble match. Sabin versus Frankie Kazarian versus Bucci versus Rich Swann versus El Desperado versus Yo versus Mal versus Kevin Knight. Okay, I thought it was a tag team match based on the way the card looked. So I said Chris Sabin for, I think, Kazarian and Bucci would win. Turns out Sabin did win, but this match was just 8 guys in the ring. Every man for himself. I kind of wish it was a tag match because it just right off the bat looked like just a clusterfuck in the making. Okay. Eventually they one-on-one. They're going to their into each of the 4 corners, and they all do planchas. I mean, it's so. This is why I don't like matches like there's too many guys in the ring, especially if they do something like this where everything is just a little too coordinated, a little too as a word I looked into it that I wrote down that just like sums up these types of matches. But yeah, Swann and Show are in the ring at one point. Then Yo gets involved, hits the drop toe hold. Beautiful. I love Yo's drop toe hold. Then the drop kick on Swann. They're all. Then at one point you got 6 maybe 4 or 5 wrestlers. They're connected in one way, shape, or form. Maybe a hold, a submission attempt, slam attempt. I hate that stuff. It's way too orchestrated, okay? And it's way too much teamwork between way too many wrestlers. And the word that I can't stand, that I know it really gets me about these types of matches, it's too much cooperation, okay? Yes, it is, there is cooperation between the two, but what the whole point of a match is supposed to make you think that they're not cooperating, okay? So when you see this type of stuff, it's so obviously cooperated and orchestrated. I can't stand it. So, no. It's supposed to be a struggle. So, remember that. One point, Bushi's in the corner taking splashes. It looks like the wrestlers are going through calisthenics. They're all lined up. They could be attacking each other. Swann then takes the gauntlet. He's getting hit. Then the 5-man suplex. Can't stand it. Okay, can't stand it. Yo gets some space, and this match is beginning to look more like a match. Okay, pin attempt by Knight onto Yo, Kazarian on the Knight, then Desperado, then Swann. Sabin gets the cradle shock for the win, okay? Black miss from Bushi at some point, I believe hits somebody. Pretty cool. That I like. But yeah, Sabin wins. Again, not big a fan of these types of matches. If you're going to do a 6-man match or like a ladder match or whatever, it better be well produced, okay? So hats off to the people that do produce well matches, like larger groups of matches. You got ladder matches, Money in the Bank matches, those type of matches. When you have them, you have to be very careful as to how you produce them. Otherwise, they come off looking like this. Tag team match. Got Eddie Edwards and Moose versus TMDK. Shane Hayes, Sabre. I thought TMDK was going to win. Edwards and Moose, they worked well together, and as a result, they won. You got Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes eventually vying for the IWGP tag titles. I would love to see them take on Bishamon. Okay, that would be a great match. And remember, the group that beats Bishamon becomes the 100th champion of the IWGP tag titles. So, yeah. Hayes and Sabre isolate Edwards during the early sequences of this match. Belly to belly onto Hayes to get the space to tag in Moose, who beats up on Hayes. Very athletic. Back pack stunner by Edwards, though. And then the near fall keeps Hayes isolated until he hits the Frankensteiner on Edwards. Does Hayes. Tags Sabre, goes to work on both opponents. Sabre gets pops from the crowd, who is just much tamer than they were on Saturday at this point. I think that the crowd was amazing on Saturday. Blue Thunderbomb by Edwards onto Sabre. Hayes and Moose in the ring. Cannonball by Shane Hayes onto Moose for the near fall. Sabre DDTs Moose. Edwards with a lariat to Sabre. All are down. Back up, Moose and Hayes strikes exchange. Moose gets the upper hand until Sabre gets involved. Sets up the opening for Hayes running knee. Moose goes for a spear and a miss. Sabre and Hayes are working coherently and a little more than Moose and Edwards at this point, I'm thinking. Drop kick and a driver bomb missed. Edwards catches Hayes with a kick and Moose hits the spear, followed by the pin for the victory. So, at the end, Edwards and Moose get together to gain that win. But it did look like Hayes and Sabre were working more coherently. But in the end, Moose and Edwards got that just right opening to win. So right off the bat now, you got two Impact factions or teams or individuals winning both the first two matches. Okay. So it's definitely an Impact night. Okay. I guess last night the Saturday night would have been more of a New Japan night naturally. However, Mike Bailey won that tournament. So we'll keep looking in. So you got New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Title 4-way match. You got Julia, Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw, Momo Kogo. Again, you got the four women. They split off 2-on-2, like 1-on-1, split headlocks, nice shoulder tackle by Julia. Then a round of roll-ups, all orchestrated, all cooperating. Julia maintains control into Kogo, hits the crossbody, then a 619. Okay, Shaw takes over with strikes and throws Julia to the corner. Shaw with a stomp to Kogo and Shaw. Purrazzo back in with kicks and a knee into the Russian leg sweep, and then you got the armbar reversal to a back body by Shaw. Julia pulled out by Purrazzo, and Kogo hits the splash from the top of the post. Shaw brings Julia back in to pose. Okay, for some reason, instead of capitalizing, right? Not good on her. Almost pays for it, but hits the spin suplex near fall. Shaw to the top, gets caught, fights off Kogo, Purrazzo, but Julia not so much. Super butterfly suplex by Julia, then Kogo with a drop kick to Shaw. Purrazzo to Kogo. They're all down. Julia to Purrazzo, Kogo to Shaw. It's going a lot of catch, a lot of fast action. Drop toe hold and back suplex by Julia. Queen's Gambit pile driver by Purrazzo to Julia, near fall, into the armbar. Shaw has an armbar on Kogo. They start kicking each other until they break their holds and attack each other. Shockwave, shock and all by Shaw. Then the spin buster. Roll up by Julia, then a drop kick. Northern Lights bomb for the victory. Julia retains. As I predicted, Julia would retain. This is not a high stakes event enough for her to lose that title. I mean, it could happen, but I wasn't going for it. Highlights. Got to give it up to Shaw. Okay, I think Giselle Shaw is incredible in the ring. She's athletic. She's got the look. She's just killing it. She's could go anywhere she wants. I think she has what it takes to be a very good star in the making in the women's division. I know that anyone who watched Impact probably knows exactly who she is, but she could definitely make her way to the bigger promotions and get some more exposure. Julia looked great. Purrazzo looked great. Kogo, excellent. I mean, they all. This match was actually, while it had some of those moments that I was referring to back, when I talked about the scramble, they definitely kicked it into fourth gear and made it seem less. They definitely suspended my disbelief. So I appreciate that. Then you have the South Philly street fight. Callahan versus Doki. Okay. Callahan is such a beast. I mean, this guy, his look is so unique. Okay. He's an attraction because you're not going to see anybody that looks like this guy in any other promotion other than Impact. He's a little bit shorter than most kind of like big men monsters, but he's big. I mean, he's jacked, like just a big dude. So yeah, you don't want to be in the ring with this guy. Okay. He's so intense. His voice is very intense. Kind of reminds me of, obviously, of Tommy Callahan when he's really, really pissed off, except this guy's in better shape and he is, a lot more angrier. So, yeah, I see why he's, as soon as I heard the name, I was like, oh, interesting. Yes. Okay. Sammy Callahan, he gets the mic before the match starts, says, we've been missing some hardcore, seeing as how we are in the Viking Hall. He faces Doki, says, what do you say, Doki? Let's make this a South Philly street fight. I thought this match was already being promoted as a South Philly street fight, so I didn't really like that. They should have done that in a promos leading up to it. They could have done that online, and Doki could have done the exact same stuff leading up, because we already knew it was a South Philly street fight. So none of this is really pertinent to the matter. Okay, they should have already established this. Doki says, yes, bitch. Very funny. Okay, card is already posted, so whatever. No surprise here. Again, maybe Callahan should have said it in the past tense. And, anywho. Doki gains the upper hand with a kick, suicide dive, props up Sammy on a chair for more offense outside until Callahan gains control, hits Doki with a Death Valley driver onto the floor, then proceeds to throw several chairs into the ring. Okay, Callahan, already getting hardcore. Grabs a photo of himself. Okay. One of those, man, I'm my head, I can't even think about what you call these photographs where essentially it's just, it's like an actor or a wrestler and any kind of performer. They want to showcase how they look. It's like a profile picture. And what he does with it is amazing. It's very innovative. He takes the hand of Doki, opens it up, and paper cuts him right in the center, right in between his fingers. Very painful. I cringed. So relatable, because anyone who's had a paper cut knows how much that hurts, let alone right in that area with that type of a card for paper. That's some serious heavy-duty card stock. So, yeah. Chair propped, exploded to Doki, into the chair, pin attempt. Sammy stacks the chairs, smacks one on top of the other of Doki. Callahan goes head first into the chair, propped into the corner. Okay, he misses Doki. Doki outside grabs a kendo stick from under the ring. He smacks the back and then the gut of Callahan. Callahan with a Sandman pose, gets caught with a drop toe hold onto the chair, then does a Raven pose. Does Doki, not a Tommy Dreamer pose, whoever's called that in the commentator's booth, because he hits the drop toe hold. That is a Raven move. Okay, I don't remember Tommy Dreamer doing that move. Maybe I'm wrong. But Doki piles the chair on Sammy. Double stomp off the top, twisting neck breaker by Callahan. Beautiful. Hits it beautifully. Grabs, sets up the ladder. Doki with a Huracan sending Sammy to the ladder. Then a leaping DDT off the rope. Near fall. 10 minutes have passed. Ladder on to Sammy. Doki misses Sammy. The senton. He hits the ladder. Sammy hits the lariat. Then a quick kick out by Doki. But goes right into the cactus pile driver for a near fall by Callahan. Sammy then stands up the chairs, 4 of them, lifts up Doki for a driver onto the chairs. Doki fights back, though. Callahan grabs the nether regions, just rah, and Doki just screams like I've never heard him scream before. Endurian's just the worst, and I can't blame him. I have to, I'm cringing again. Callahan hits that cactus driver 97 for the victory. Callahan, just so much energy. This was a real great match to just showcase what Callahan can do. He's that type of a hardcore wrestler. His style, it's very clear as to how he wrestles and what he can do. For someone like me who didn't get to see that much of Callahan, and I don't necessarily always going to go back. I know who this guy is, so I was like, I want to just see him in the ring live. I didn't even want to go back and watch too much of him. I've seen some of it, but I wanted to see this match and just really pay attention to his style. And this was a perfect showcase of what he can do. Not a long match, just a nice little package of a match. Doki, great. Shout out to Doki. Everyone was impressed with how he was able to keep up with Callahan in a match that's completely out of his comfort zone. But Doki's a badass, so he could do this. So yeah, had a feeling Sami Callihan was going to win, and sure enough, he did. So you got the Catch 22 match. Catch 22, Francesco Akira versus TMDK, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles. Great match. Okay, this was a big one. Fujita and Akira started right off. Fujita gets the shoulder tackle and wheelbarrow. reversed by the arm drag, but still hits the drop kick. Okay, drop kicks tag made to TJP with a thrust kick. TJP and Akira in control. Fujita and Eagles, okay, gets the upper hand with the teamwork. Ron Miller special onto Akira by Eagles. Then drop kick while Fujita ties up Akira up until he makes it to the ropes for the break. Huracan on Fujita, then Akira off the top to both TMDK members. Lots of teamwork here. Back in the ring, quick. They're back in the ring really quick. Chop by Fujita, then one from Akira. Big senton off the top, off the shoulders of TJP. Goes Akira onto Fujita. In the corner, TJP with the boot wash, then the kick. A chop by block by Fujita sends TJP down. Tags Eagles with a Huracan and a heel kick, then TJP with a drop kick and a quick crucifix. Roll up, more team action from TMDK. Pin attempt, springboard missile drop kick from Eagles into the Ron Miller special onto Akira, who cannot make it to the rope, so TJP saves, but he is then tossed to the outside. Chop by Akira, roll up, super kick caught, manages to counter the turbo backpack with a poison Rana. Does Akira. Near fall by TJP onto Fujita. Alley-oop onto Fujita, then a splash from TJP, still just a near fall. Misfire by Eagles. Hits Fujita by accident. Eagles then taken out of the equation by Akira. A flapjack by TJP and the knee to Fujita. Catch 22 wins. And I called it. Look, Catch 22, you got United Empire, Akira, and TJP. They work so well together. And this match just reminded me of how well they work together. It just totally reminded me of the Super Junior when I think about the moves that they were putting on. You got the boot wash. TJP is excellent. Akira is excellent. They work so well together, you know? So I called it. Take nothing away from Fujita and Eagles. Are both excellent. Man, Fujita just keeps getting more better. And he's more popular every time you see him because everyone loves this guy. So Eagles, what can I say? He's excellent. Then you got that 12-man tag team match, okay? You got 3 more matches to go. This is the Bullet Club. Bullet Club versus the World versus Impact and New Japan. You got Ace Austin, Alex Coughlin, Chris Bay, Clark Connors, David Finlay, Kenta versus GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, and Tongalo Tomatonga, El Phantasmo, Josh Alexander, PCO, DKC. I did a little prediction as to how this match would end, and sure enough, I laughed because I was like, wow, really did call it. Let's talk about it. I like PCO's gimmick, by the way. Comes out, Frankenstein-looking dude, makes it work, He's not like total Frankenstein where he's like, he's definitely human, obviously. He doesn't completely try to go whole monster, but he looks like a Frankenstein, so that's all it is. It's a subtle, kind of like Luchasaurus. He looks like a dinosaur. Or Jungle Boy, who kind of looks like a Jungle Boy, but he's not really a Jungle Boy. It's not like pulling fish out the water and eating it raw. Tonga and Finlay, they start this off. Finlay spits in the face of Tonga, who fires back with strikes, sending him into the corner. Reversal, and Tonga with clothesline, sending Finlay outside. Then the plancha. Bullet Club swarms, okay, Tonga. And Tonga's team backs him up for a brawl. PCO in to face Coughlin. Chops exchange. Gut wrench by Coughlin. Very nice. But PCO right back and clotheslines both over the top. And swarms are back at it. Just swarming each other. A lot of chaos outside. DKC and Connors in the ring. DKC hammers down on Connors, who takes control with a power slam. DKC isolated into the BC corner. Finlay in the ring. Big chop sends DKC down. Then shoulder blocks in the Bullet Club corner. Coughlin and then a tag to Connors. Double team. Connors misses in the corner. Coughlin's momentum sends him over the top rope to the outside. It's a little delayed. Hate it when that happens because it definitely looks, a little too cooperative. DKC tags in Alexander, who German suplexes beat Bullet Club members. But all on top, Alexander is taken down by all the teamwork from the Bullet Club. Ace Austin with a card for the paper cut. Second card I've seen. Is that how you guys roll in Impact? You guys whip out these cards for paper cuts. At one point, I believe it was Callahan who did a paper cut to Doki, not just in between the fingers. He does it to the armpit. Ugh. Anywho. Rush drop kick. Ace Austin with a card, paper cut, then drop kick to a Russian leg sweep. Tag teaming with Chris Bay Excellent. Kenta with a snapmare and a kick. Pin attempts. Ace with a Samoan drop. Leg drop. Another tag to isolate Alexander. All over Alexander. Ace and Bray, they get reversed into a double suplex by Alexander for the hot tag to ELP. Finley wants ELP. He gets tagged in. He's just, come on. Okay, really is on fire. They do a somersault. He hits that somersault to the lion salt on Finley before being attacked, but tags in Tonga and Loa. Come in for some good old God teamwork. Every member of the New Japan Impact team gets a piece of Finley, naturally. Kenta goes for GTS. Alexander, though, counters with an ankle lock. Ace hits the splash to the outside. PCO with a suicide cannonball. Looks so vicious. Then the moonsault. PCO is amazing. Okay, what he can do at his size. Finley with the knees. Then, and he just doesn't look like he's that youthful either. He's just a really good athlete. But Finley with the knees, then the powerbomb DKC for the 1, 2, 3. I called it. I said he was either going to be PCO or DKC. Pinned by Finley. Sure enough, that's exactly what damn happened. Okay. Bullet Club wins. What are you going to say? Okay. You can't stop that, that unity from the Bullet Club. So there you go. Tag team match. Hiromu Takahashi and Mike Bailey versus Lio Rush and Trey Miguel. I was really curious as to what was going to happen as far as to like how Takahashi and Bailey would work. They already have like Bailey. Takahashi has already accepted Bailey's challenge for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. I mean, how are they supposed to work together and cooperate? Sometimes it happens where you got two guys who are going to fight each other doing just fine, but no, there's too much at stake going on. So I called that Lio Rush Trey Miguel would win this. So I noticed Lio did not come out to his classical music. He has a brand new song. I don't like it as much. I think it's cool, but not as original as the way he came out with his last match. He came out to his old music on Friday, and I like it. I like it a lot. Just very cool. Like it has a nice instrumental that sounds very old school, and then it goes into that beat. It's excellent. So bring back the old music, Leo. So again, the story goes, how well will these two teams work together? You got Miguel and Takahashi. They start the match. They lock up. Miguel backs Taka to the corner. Then the kicks to the midsection. Pressure on the face. Irish whip. Lariat. Then the drop kick and by Taka. Leo tags himself in. Leo tags himself in. Okay. Taka tags Bailey. So Leo and Trey are not doing too well either. Nip up and the kick connects Leo. No one is faster than Leo. Okay. Bailey with the drop kick to Miguel as well and tags Taka for the teamwork on Rush. Leo able to counter Taka into the corner where Miguel attacks then Leo with the kick, hammering down on the back. So now Taka is isolated. Taka counters Miguel with the Dragon Screw, tags to Bailey, who just high machine gun kicks to Miguel, the bicycle, Liu Kang, whatever you want to call it. High kicks, machine gun kicks, excellent to Miguel. Running shooting star, hit. Leo tagged in, delivers a fisherman driver. Forearms exchange, Miguel now in, then Takahashi. Bailey with a shooting star to the outside of Miguel, beautiful. Leo launches torpedo suicide to hit Bailey. Both miss high risk moves. Both roll through, spinning kicks exchange, then Taka and Trey, chops exchange, kicks Falcon Arrow by Takahashi. Double team from Trey and Leo. Got some kicks. Pop power bomb by Takahashi. Roll up by Trey, Miguel. Double kicks by Bailey and Takahashi. Tornado kick by Bailey. Miguel hoisted over Taka's shoulders. And Bailey hits this beautiful Ultimo weapon on the back of Miguel. Near fall. Leo makes the save the last millisecond. Okay, very close. I thought that was it. Bailey and Leo outside, Takahashi and Bailey inside. Miguel suicide DDT to Bailey. Leo hits the rush hour to Takahashi. Outside, Taka goes for the time bomb on Leo. Miguel hits the Meteora on Bailey over the back of Taka. Takahashi uses the knees on Leo during the final hour. Goes for the time bomb, but gets hit with the low blow by Leo. Then a roll up for the pin. Leo pins Takahashi. Okay. And Leo challenges Takahashi. Takahashi's like, yeah. Little LA night. Bunch of yes. And meanwhile, Bailey's like, what the hell? Like, we have a match set up. Why are you accepting his match? Takahashi's like, don't worry about it. Like, he's kind of trying to throw off Bailey. I want to focus on this guy. So it's looking like a triple threat. Lio Rush, Takahashi, and Mike Bailey. That's what it's looking like, I think, in the future. Or, you got both guys going to challenge Takahashi. Either way, these three are about to explode. They're about to collide. And yeah, I don't know what I don't know what will happen. Takahashi is just kind of the stable of New Japan. Lio Rush has the X Division title. I kind of see Bailey maybe winning the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, but Leo is more the New Japan guy in a way. I mean, it's very interesting when you look at these two so connected is New Japan with the promotions in the States, that you never know what's going to happen as far as, like, even though they might be more exclusive to New Japan, they could very well, make big things happen in the other promotions. So, like Leo's doing. So, again, Leo, he wants Moto. He wants more. He's shouting, I want the IWGP Junior title. So I got this title. I want Moto. More. He is on fire, Lio Rush. Okay, so yeah, Takahashi accepts. Anyways, let's go to that Impact World title match. Alex Shelley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. They both look great in the ring. Story of this match, you got student in Alex Shelley taking on his mentor in Tanahashi. Okay. And the way they work this match is essentially Shelley just works the left arm of Tanahashi, whereas Tanahashi really works on the left leg of Shelley. So what's gonna happen? Not a long match, but definitely at least in the 20-minute, hits the 20-minute marker with ease. Slow start. I kind of thought this match was going to end sooner than it did, but it just kept going. Good match, hard fought win. Good job on both parts. So let's get into this. They had both the English and Japanese speaking announcer team up for the introduction. I like that. Bell rings. They circle the ring and lock up. To the corner goes Shelley. Chain wrestling. Knee off the top by Shelley, then works the arm. The deep water kick by Shelley. Hammerlock. Tanahashi grabs the leg, knee smash into the post, then the barricades. Kicks the legs. From the very beginning, they're going after their targets, the arm and the leg. Okay, automatically. Shoulder block in the stunner to the rope, a leap over the rope, stomp to the hand. Running knee off the apron by Shelley. Breaks the count, then continues to punish the arm against the barricade. Brings Tana back onto the apron, a stomp to the left elbow, while stepping on the hair of Tanahashi to keep him in place. I like that. Back in the ring, Tanahashi gets enough space to drop kick the leg, take Shelley to the corner, kick the leg, drop kick, leg again. Boom. All right. Kicks and ensiguri's to Tana by Shelley to stop him in his tracks. Really nice sliding double axe handle by Shelley. Then that punt kick. Hits the sliced spread, does Shelley, and a near fall. Then immediately into the Border City stretch onto Tanahashi. Kind of like a crossface. Tanahashi makes to the ropes for the break. Shelley hyperextends the arm against the ropes, and Tanahashi hyperextends the leg against the ropes. Drop kick by Tana to the knee. Then Tanahashi applies the cloverleaf. His arm being hurt, can't really lock the hold in, so Shelley just grabs the leg to break the hold. Tanahashi back to the leg with an attack. They then strike each other, Shelley with the forearm and the enziguri. More strikes exchange. As they get to their feet, strike continues. Big uppercut by Tanahashi. Sends Shelley down, so back to the arm goes Shelley, but Tanahashi hits twist and shout. Shelley back up. Two more twist and shouts from Tanahashi. Then the sling blade, near fall. Tana goes for the top, for the frog splash, misses. So obvious. Shelley then knee to the back to the head of Tana. Then the ripcord lariat by Shelley, a near fall. Knee to the back. Knee by Shelley, then an attempt at shell shock, reversed. That's basically Sister Abigail and or Blade Runner. Reverse to a German suplex and a bridge, near fall, another sling blade. He goes to the top. Shelley catches Tanahashi. Again, I mean, I don't think Tanahashi, the momentum was there. It's too obvious that Tanahashi was going to get reversed. So it wasn't too big of a fan of him going to the top at that particular moment. Shelley works the arm, headbutts Ace, puts Tanahashi into the white noise. Air raid crash, hits it. Still just a near fall. That could have been it. Crowd is chanting for both. Super kick and a shell shock to Tanahashi, followed by the pinfall. Shelley is victorious. And that's it. A couple times they were working the back. They were working outside, and Shelley is wrenching the arm against the barricade, just doing some really cool work on the arm of Tanahashi, making it look really good. I like that Shelley. I like the way Shelley works with the arm. I like the little things that he does. Okay. So I was very impressed with both the way both at the end. I am very impressed with both how both worked, Tanahashi and Shelley. They work well together. It was a nice match, nice finish to a nice weekend. I will say this though. Let's see. I want to point out that the commentators. Okay, I don't know what it is about Impact Wrestling commentators. Not all of them, but I wasn't that big of a fan of Don West back in the day, and I'm not that big of a fan. I mean, Tom Hannafan, okay? I thought Aiden English, okay? Well, originally Aiden English, okay? Now goes by. Oh, I'm so terrible if I don't remember his new name now. Thank you. Okay, so you got Matthew Rayvault. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce it. Who's Aiden English? Okay, Tom Hannafan, Veda Scott. Veda Scott kind of reminds me of Renee. Renee from AEW. Obviously Jon Moxley's wife. And her voice. She did okay. I liked what Veda was doing. And Aiden English is great for the commentating. And I'm hearing that he's teaming up with his old partner for to go as the vaudevillains in House of Glory. I heard that from the commentator, obviously from JD in New York. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I'd always thought Aiden English was excellent. Okay, why they got rid of him just blows my mind. So, and then you got Tom Hannafan, who he does just fine on commentating. The one thing that I just hope he watches out for, after every move that seems a little bit impactful, he's got to go, ooh, like he's busting a nut or something, like he's losing his shit. I mean, I don't think that you need to do that. You could just maybe, I don't know, call the move and be like, wow, that's armbar, devastating, or ouch, man, that looks like it hurt. Look at it, look at Shelley just wrenching the arm. Not going, ooh, whoa. Don't need to do that. It's too much. I mean, I wasn't even noticing it until that last match, and I was like, wow, he's doing it after every single big move. And it wasn't not even big moves, just moves that looked like they hurt a little bit. And it was too much, Tom Hannafan. Okay. On that note, I'm glad to have finally gotten a review in after all these days, all this time. I'm going to get hopefully Jonathan from Bad Guy Wrestling to collaborate with me, and we'll talk predictions for All In, talk a little bit about our trip to Philadelphia. And yeah, we will see you next time. Okay. I got a pool party to go to. I got family member to meet with, and I've got a weekend to get through. So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your last August weekend. So, we're getting close to the fall. Okay. And y'all take care. See you next time.